This show is part of OnePlace, a daily network of focused briefings across the stories people follow most.
Welcome to the Roundup. We have a packed show today covering everything from international soccer controversies to the greens of Augusta and the future of the NFL draft. Let's get into it.
Ivan Toney claims Saudi officials favor Cristiano Ronaldo.
Barcelona files a formal complaint over Champions League officiating.
Rory McIlroy shares the lead after a hot start.
Elliot Cadeau returns to Michigan for his senior year.
Atletico's president uses a bizarre analogy for transfer rumors.
Patrick Agyemang's injury shakes up the USMNT roster.
The Masters keep sandwich prices at historic lows.
NFL draft rumors swirl around the Jets and Cardinals.
First, the Saudi Pro League.
Ivan Toney is not holding back after Al Ahly's frustrating 1-1 draw against Al Fayha. The England international, who has been on a tear with 27 goals this season, launched a scathing attack on the officiating standards in the Saudi Pro League. He specifically pointed to two clear penalties that he believes were ignored. What's really raising eyebrows is his suggestion that there is a systemic bias toward Cristiano Ronaldo and Al Nassr. Toney claimed that when he tried to discuss the missed calls with the referee, he was told to simply focus on the AFC Champions League instead. This dismissive attitude from the officials has led Toney to publicly question if the league is being influenced to benefit the teams currently leading the title race, leaving Al Ahly in a difficult third-place position.
The rhetoric got even more intense when Toney's teammate Galeno joined in on social media. Galeno went as far as suggesting that the league is actively trying to gift the silverware to Ronaldo. Toney's comments were particularly pointed when he was asked who would benefit from these questionable calls. He laughed and asked, "Who are we chasing?" It is a direct shot at Al Nassr. Toney even shared clips of the incidents online, calling it crazy that officials could turn a blind eye during such crucial moments in the season. He mentioned that earlier in the year, these were clear penalties, but now that it is crunch time, the rules seem to have changed. This level of public criticism is rare and could land Toney in significant trouble with the league authorities as the title race heats up.
Now to European football.
Barcelona has taken the extraordinary step of filing a formal complaint with UEFA following their 2-0 loss to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League quarterfinals. The club is calling the officiating incomprehensible, specifically focusing on a bizarre handball incident in the 54th minute. After a goal kick was taken and the ball was live, Atletico's Marc Pubil intentionally handled the ball to roll it back to his keeper, apparently thinking it wasn't in play yet. Despite this being a clear violation of the rules, referee Istvan Kovacs allowed a retake instead of awarding a penalty. Barcelona's legal department argues this was a fundamental failure in the application of the laws of the game. They are demanding access to the referee's communications and an official acknowledgement of the error, claiming this isn't the first time they've been disadvantaged by poor officiating.
Hansi Flick was absolutely fuming on the touchline, and the club's statement reflects that deep-seated frustration. They believe the failure of VAR to intervene in such a clear-cut situation constitutes a significant error that directly impacted the outcome of the match. Barcelona's complaint goes beyond just this one game, though. They are suggesting a pattern of incomprehensible decisions in recent Champions League editions that have prevented them from competing on equal terms with other elite clubs. By requesting an investigation into the referee's performance, Barca is putting immense pressure on UEFA to address what they see as a lack of consistency and fairness. This move adds a massive layer of tension ahead of the second leg, as the Catalan giants feel they are fighting against both their opponents on the pitch and the officials overseeing the tournament. Switching gears to golf.
Rory McIlroy is off to a sensational start at the Masters, sharing the lead with Sam Burns after the opening round at Augusta National. This is a huge development because McIlroy has often struggled to get out of the gates quickly in past years. Last year, when he won the green jacket, he actually finished his first round at even par. This time around, he's already 5 under, mirroring the dominant form he showed during the middle rounds of his championship run in 2025. Rory has been very vocal about his strategy, noting that a hot start is critical to success at this level. Sitting in pole position after 18 holes puts him in a fantastic spot to become a repeat champion, something that is incredibly difficult to achieve in the modern era of golf, given the depth of the field.
While Sam Burns has been in Masters mode for a while and is playing equally impressive golf, the spotlight remains firmly on McIlroy. There is always the concern of regression to the mean, especially after such a low opening score, but Rory seems to have found a rhythm that works for him. His Thursday round this year was almost a carbon copy of his best rounds from last year's tournament. The fact that he is leading or tied for the lead so early is the biggest story of the tournament so far. He's playing with the confidence of a defending champion who knows exactly what it takes to navigate the back nine on Sunday. If he can maintain this level of consistency through the second and third rounds, he will be the clear favorite to walk away with another green jacket and cement his legacy at Augusta.
Moving to college hoops.
Michigan fans have a lot to celebrate as star point guard Elliot Cadeau has officially announced he will return for his senior year. After leading the Wolverines to a national championship, there was plenty of speculation about him potentially jumping to the NBA. However, Cadeau decided to run it back in Ann Arbor. He really found his flow this past season, putting up impressive numbers and earning the Most Outstanding Player honor in the Final Four. During the NCAA tournament, he averaged over 12 points and 7 assists per game, showing a level of intensity and leadership that was vital to Michigan's success. His best performance came against UConn, where he dropped 19 points in a dominant win. Cadeau credited the coaching staff's confidence in him as a major reason for his return, stating they always believed he was a championship-caliber player.
By putting his professional career on hold, Cadeau has immediately made Michigan a frontrunner for another title next season. His growth and confidence has been the biggest story of his time with the Wolverines. He told reporters that the trust the team placed in him meant everything, and that bond is clearly strong enough to keep him in college for one more year. Having a veteran, championship-winning point guard return is a luxury few programs get to enjoy. It allows the coaching staff to build around a proven floor general who knows how to perform under the brightest lights. While the NBA will certainly be waiting for him in 2027, his focus is now entirely on defending Michigan's crown. This decision is a massive win for the program, and a testament to the culture they have built under their current leadership.
Next, a transfer update.
Atletico Madrid president Enrique Cerezo had a very colorful way of dismissing rumors that Julian Alvarez might move to Barcelona. When asked by reporters about the potential transfer, Cerezo responded with a bizarre analogy, asking if anyone could guarantee they wouldn't die before the end of the year. His point, though delivered strangely, was clear. Alvarez has many years left on his contract, and Atletico has no intention of selling. The 26-year-old striker has been in incredible form, recording 17 goals and 9 assists this season. Since joining from Manchester City, he has become a cornerstone of the Atletico attack, and the club holds all the cards in negotiations. His current deal doesn't expire until 2030, making any potential move to a domestic rival like Barcelona extremely unlikely given the financial hurdles the Catalan club currently faces in the market.
Barcelona has reportedly made Alvarez their primary target to bolster their front line, but the price tag is staggering. Reports suggest Atletico would demand at least €175 million, with some sources saying they would hold out for closer to €200 million. A loan deal would be rejected immediately. Beyond the transfer drama, the two clubs are about to face off in a massive Champions League quarterfinal. Cerezo's blunt comments were likely intended to shut down distractions before such a high-stakes match. Alvarez's impact has been immense, with 46 goals in just over 100 appearances for the Rojiblancos. For Barcelona to even stand a chance of signing him, they would need to solve their significant financial issues, which makes Cerezo's 3 words, "Julian has a contract," the definitive end to the conversation for the foreseeable future.
Now for U.S. soccer.
The U.S. men's national team has dealt with a heartbreaking blow as striker Patrick Agyemang will miss the 2026 World Cup due to a ruptured Achilles tendon. This is a devastating turn for the 25-year-old, who had a meteoric rise from Division III college soccer to becoming a key part of Mauricio Pochettino's plans. Agyemang recently scored his 6th international goal against Belgium and seemed like a lock for the roster. His 6'4" frame provided a unique physical presence that the U.S. team lacks elsewhere. Pochettino was expected to use him as a primary option off the bench or even a starter if Folarin Balogun was unavailable. This injury highlights the greatest fear for any player, a mistimed ailment ruining a once-in-a-career opportunity. It's a major loss for the squad's tactical flexibility heading into the tournament.
With Agyemang out, the door opens for other strikers to secure their spots. Ricardo Pepi and Haji Wright, who were already likely inclusions, are now essentially locks for the final roster. It also brings players like Josh Sargent and Brian White back into serious consideration. Pochettino now has to decide if he wants to replace Agyemang with another traditional striker or use that roster spot to bolster the defense or midfield. Because there isn't a direct like-for-like replacement for Agyemang's specific physical profile, the coach might opt for a more versatile player who can cover multiple positions. This injury reshuffles the entire depth chart and forces the coaching staff to rethink their late-game strategies. While it's a personal tragedy for Agyemang, the competition for those final few spots on the World Cup roster has just become much more intense for everyone else.
Back to the Masters.
In an era of rampant inflation, the Masters at Augusta National remains a bizarre outlier when it comes to concession prices. The tournament's famous pimento cheese sandwiches are still just $1.50, a price that hasn't changed since 2002. To put that in perspective, when the sandwiches debuted in 1934, they cost 30 cents, which would be over $7 today. This means the food is actually more affordable now than it was decades ago. The club takes this consistency very seriously, with Chairman Billy Payne once stating that the cost of a sandwich is just as important as the height of the grass on the course. You can actually buy one of every single item on the 27-item menu for less than $80, which is unheard of at any other major sporting event in the world.
The menu has seen some slight changes over the years, like the introduction of a savory tomato pie and a new Masters candy bar, but the core philosophy remains the same. Keep it simple and affordable. This tradition dates back to the early days when Augusta had very few hotel rooms, and patrons mostly visited on day trips. The no-frills menu allowed local residents to prepare the food in their own kitchens before the tournament moved everything on-site in 2013. Even the most expensive items, like beer and wine, are capped at $6. Spectators often express shock at the prices, noting that they don't even remember things being this cheap during their childhoods. It's a deliberate branding move by Augusta National to ensure that the patron experience remains accessible and nostalgic, even as the world around the tournament becomes increasingly expensive.
Finally, NFL draft rumors.
We are officially in smokescreen season for the 2026 NFL Draft, and the rumors are flying. While the Las Vegas Raiders are widely expected to take Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza with the first overall pick, the real mystery begins at number 2 with the New York Jets. For months, Arvil Reese was the name most linked to New York, but new reports suggest they might be leaning toward Texas Tech pass rusher David Bailey instead. While Reese has a higher ceiling, he's seen as a developmental project because he split time between the edge and off-ball linebacker in college. Bailey, on the other hand, is considered the most pro-ready edge rusher in the class. For a Jets team that needs to fix its defense immediately to save jobs, that readiness might be the deciding factor when they turn in their card.
The ripple effect of the Jets' decision will be felt immediately by the Arizona Cardinals at number 3. Most analysts assumed Arizona would target offensive line help, specifically Spencer Fano or Francis Mauigoa, to protect their franchise quarterback. However, if the Jets pass on Reese, the Cardinals might find the defensive talent too good to ignore. Insiders suggest that if either Bailey or Reese is available, Arizona could pivot away from the offensive line to grab a blue-chip defender. This would force teams later in the top 10, like the Giants at 5, to reconsider their own strategies. With only 2 weeks to go, it's hard to tell what is legitimate intel and what is just propaganda designed to bait other teams into trades. One thing is certain, the draft truly starts at pick 2, and the Jets hold the keys to the first round.
That's our show for today. Thanks for listening to this daily briefing. Be sure to follow us for tomorrow's update on the biggest stories in sports. See you then.